Hey guys, welcome back to Astrology with the 8th House Siren. I'm Siren. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new here, welcome back. So let me do my little introduction. I'm Siren. I'm an astrologer. I do readings. The link to book me is in all of my social medias. I am 8th House Siren everywhere. That includes Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. Okay, y'all. So the structure of today's show is going to be a little different than normal. Okay, normally we start off with the astro sip of the day, we do the forecast, and then a Q&A. Today we're going to switch it up because I have just discovered this new astrology reality TV show called Cosmic Love. It is the first of its kind. This is the first ever astrology-based reality TV show, and it is available on Amazon Prime. So we're going to call this my first impression of Cosmic Love because I only watched the first episode so far. Even though I am just talking about the first episode, there will be spoilers. So one of the very first things I looked up about the show was, were there any astrologers involved in the production of this show? And yes, there were. So the Astro Twins are actually the ones behind the scenes analyzing all these people's birth charts. So that was good to know. I'm not too familiar with the Astro Twins or their content, but I do know that they hold some weight and validity in the astrology community. So Cosmic Love. It's basically Are You the One, but the astrology version. So the whole point of the show is for these people to find their matches based off of astrology. And it looks like the ones who successfully find their matches and make it to the end get, I guess, rewarded with an astrology themed wedding. I mean, if that's what they wanted to do. I'm an astrologer and I would not want an astrology themed wedding, but I digress. So right off bat, like as soon as the show started, I noticed that this was going to be element heavy. And what I mean by this is the focus was going to be on looking at the compatibility of people's sun signs based off of element. Even the birth chart shown in the intro of the show was not in zodiacal order. It was grouped by element. I personally think this is clever. One of the hardest things to do when creating astrology content is making it palatable for everyone. And what I mean by that is, okay, how can I make this enjoyable for both people who are just watching this for a good time, who kind of know a little bit about astrology, to like, the die-hard astrologers. And I think just focusing on the elements, something that, everyone knows at least a little bit about. Like, even if you don't know about astrology, you should know about the elements. You know what I'm saying? Like, what fire is and water and air, earth, the vibes that those give off. So I think that this was a smart way to do this. So each of the 4 main contestants has a different element. So we have Maria, who's a Capricorn, representing Earth. We have Connor, who's a Gemini, representing air. Phoebe, who's a Leo, representing fire. And Noelle, who is a Pisces, representing water. So far, I think the contestants are very much giving their signs. Like Maria, the Capricorn, right out of the gate, she started talking about like how she owns her own business. I'm like, okay, boss lady, work. Noelle, the Pisces, he talks about how he has kind of had a wandering eye in relationships in the past because he kind of looks at relationships in a flowy manner, kind of anything goes. Phoebe, the Leo, comes out like a firecracker. She talks about how she has gone on this journey to self-love, very Leo vibes. Is it just me, or does Connor, the Gemini, always look like he's trying to figure something out? Like every time he's talking to someone, his face just looks like he's like trying to solve an equation or something. But anyway, yeah, he's given Gemini. So eventually they start bringing out the people who they're going to be mixing and mingling with. And I'm noticing that they are allowed to know each other's signs, which that is, so far, that's the only thing I would change. Like, I would make it so that they're not allowed to disclose, each other's signs, because it seems to me like some of these people on this show kind of know a thing or two about astrology. And sometimes when you learn someone's sign, like you automatically think to yourself, okay, like I know I'm going to like them, or I know I'm not going to like them, right? So after the 4 primary contestants have had time to mix and mingle with everyone, we're going to call her an Astro Ball, because I don't think they ever tell us her name, but like she's a ball and she's talking to them. She asked them, hey, like, can you come into the Astro Chamber? Now pause. As soon as I heard this little Astro Ball's voice, I was like, this voice sounds familiar. I like this voice. It's Cree Summer. The ball is voiced by Cree Summer. So love that. And basically the little Astro Ball in the Astro Chamber discusses with them like who, you know, the kind of people she thinks they should be going for, but ultimately they get to select who they go on the dates with. Now, after they go on the dates, the little Astro Ball tells them whether the person they selected is a match or whether they are not a match. Now, based off of what I'm seeing so far from these 4 main contestants, I already know like what signs I think they need. Maria the Capricorn keeps talking about how she wants someone who makes her feel comfortable with them taking the lead. And for some reason, she ended up choosing a Pisces. And spoiler alert, he won her match. I think that she needs, if she's gonna go for a water sign, it needs to be Scorpio. But I think she would pair really well with another earth sign. So another Capricorn, another Taurus, or another Virgo. Mr. Gemini, Connor, it seemed like his date was going really well with the Aquarius. Like they were vibing, and in my mind I was like, well, Gemini Aquarius, like it's the conversation should flow easily, like you know, they should make each other feel comfortable and stimulated. Connor mentioned that he's a firefighter, so he doesn't really have a lot of time to like be at home, and he needs a partner who's able to accept that. And it seemed like Miss Aquarius was accepting of that, but it turns out they were not a match. And so it got my wheels turning. And I think that the little Astro Ball didn't want to pair Connor with an Aquarius because maybe she wants someone who's going to not only connect with him, but challenge him to open up more, because Connor did mention that he likes to keep conversations surface level. So I think maybe a Libra would do well with Connor, because Libra has that airy vibe, but they also value deeper connection in the long run. I think that they would be able to force that out of Connor. But it was very interesting that Astro Ball said that Sagittarius was one of his matches. They're opposing signs, but I think it's because he needs someone who's going to be okay with him never being home. And if there is any sign that would be okay with that, it's Sagittarius. Now, I don't know who my favorite contestant is yet, but I can tell you who my least favorite contestant is, and that is Noel the Pisces. Primarily because he says that he's learned his lesson. You know, after cheating in the relationship that he was previously in, he's learned his lesson. You know, he learned what he wants in a relationship, or all this other jazz and whatever. But then he ends up picking his date based off of looks, like solely off of looks. He picked a date that he didn't even like. It didn't even appear that he formed a connection with her. And Miss Astro Ball called him on his BS, and I'm glad she did that. I'm glad, and that's another. I like that part of the show. I like Astro Ball. It seems like she's not always going to be nice to them, and I like that. Now Phoebe, the Leo, she ended up picking a Pisces for her first date, and like they ended up making out and stuff. And my first thought was like, you know, dang, like these are 2 signs that end up seeing people for who they want them to be and not for who they truly are. So I was thinking both of them just had on rose-colored glasses, you know what I'm saying? Just moving quickly as Leos and Pisces tend to do. But they ended up being a match. So I think this show also might start opening people's eyes up to like, you know, you're more than just your sun sign. Because another thing that Astro Ball does with them in the Astro Chamber is discuss their charts, their birth charts as a whole with them. I was surprised that she was doing all that, like on a reality TV show. I liked that little surprise there, pairing Leo and Pisces together. But, you know, they still have to discover, like, you know, the people that they ultimately want to be with. All of them have multiple matches in the house. So I think this should be really interesting. I think I'm going to keep on watching. If you all watch Cosmic Love, let me know how y'all feel about it in the comments. Let me know if you liked it, if you didn't like it, any predictions for the show, let me know. Okay, y'all, that's all I have for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to let me know how y'all feel about Cosmic Love, because I want to know. And I will see y'all next time. Bye-bye.